Joe Biden pressed in a recent conversation about his own rhetoric towards his opponent, political opponent, and did it lend cause to the you know what?
Well, let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud, and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
So he said, I said crosshairs. And he's like, no, you didn't. You said bullseye.
I never said you said crosshairs. I said bullseye.
Yeah.
I think that radical rhetoric can radicalize people. However, I think we have to be careful to not slide into the words or violence framing.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we become the raging fourth wave feminists.
The daggone left are saying it was all staged and it was a conspiracy.
Right.
And then the right is saying that words are violence. Look at that.
It's too bad. It's all backwards, fam. It's a glitch. It's a glitch in the matrix.
For real.
All right, go ahead.
Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
He said it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it was a mistake.
Yeah,
Okay.
he actually said it was a mistake to say crosshairs. He meant to say bullseye.
Okay. Let's.
And I can't let him.
He never said crosshairs. He said bullseye. He said it was a mistake to say bullseye.
No,
Let's listen. Let's listen again.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I said bullseye.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah. It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs.
Okay.
I said bullseye.
Okay, fair enough.
Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that look.
You know what he needs to do is to say we all need to turn the temperature down, including myself. Right? He was there. Like that actually was scoring political points.
That's fair.
But the doubling down, which he's about to do next, I don't think scores him any political points.
I'm not the guy that said, I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that one accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying and, I mean, the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well,
Pause it. Listen to now how the whole thing is flipped. Now, because you said he incited an insurrection, but if words are violence,
Did you incite?
did you help
a crazy
incite?
person? Yeah.
Right? And then watch what he does here. Biden then pulls something right out of Trump's playbook. It's amazing.
I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I've not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all those, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though. You've talked about
no,
the
no. Look, when I'm turning down, we have to stop the whole notion that there are certain things that are contrary to our democracy that we're for. The idea of saying that I didn't win the election, when every court in the land, I don't know, 20 appeals said, and including this conservative Supreme Court, said we won.
And he's not wrong in the only person that said that. Jordan Peterson has said that about Trump. Ben Shapiro said that about Trump. There's other conservatives that have called that out about Trump. He looks like a loser when he keeps complaining about not winning the election.
Yes.
It's not a good look.
I guess the question is, are you all on the same page? Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look, why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told?
After the incredible success of our Bless God prayer journal, many of you guys began to ask for something that had a planner. And so we combined our Bless God prayer journal with a brand new leadership planner that jam-packs the same things from our prayer journal with a planner, goal setting, leadership meeting, and notes. With the next pages, you can see different sections right along here of this leadership planner where you can start out with actionable goals, 12 months of calendar, our original prayer journal prompts, our leadership journal with the proven problem solution framework, and of course, just free write notes. This leadership planner is based off of Matthew 25:14-30, which of course is the parable of the talents. The vision of the planner is to help you make the most of your time, talent, and treasure. Head over to blessgod.shop and get yours today. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.
Where are you on this? Why didn't the press ever talk about that? 28 times it's confirmed he lied in that debate. I had a bad night. I wasn't feeling well at all. And I had been, without making, I screwed up. But
I just asked the question because the idea that you may or may not have seen what some of these other folks have seen, you're not on the same.
I'd have to see I was there. I'd have to see it, I was there. And by the way, seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Well,
I haven't heard anything about that.
We have reported many of the issues that came up during that debate.
No, you haven't.
We'll provide you with it.
Straight up Trump playbook.
Straight Trump playbook.
Yo.
Straight Trump. Now, and to be fair, he lied too.
That's a screenshot.
He flat out lied about Charlottesville. This is how people get red pilled. Those are you guys that are like, how can someone go and vote for Trump? You know how? You pull up the actual quote from Charlottesville. How can someone become more conservative? Kyle Rittenhouse. You want to know? Because when the entire media is force feeding you one paradigm, and then you pull back and go, wait a minute, let me look up Charlottesville for myself. And you go, oh, that's not what he said at all. Right? In the middle of the debate, Biden said, you said there were good people on all sides. We're talking about racists and white supremacists. When you see the original quote, you go, he didn't say that. Right? When you see Kyle Rittenhouse defend himself, he didn't go into a random crowd and just random protesters the way it was framed. This is how people get red pilled. This is how people get radicalized to go on the opposite extreme of what they were believing initially. So, by the way, Snopes is a pretty liberal site, right? And they just recently updated June 21st, 2024. This is right before the debate. President Donald Trump called neo-Nazis and white supremacists who attended the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville very fine people. In a news conference after the rally protesting plan of a removal of a Confederate statue, Trump did say there were very fine people on both sides, referring to the protesters and counter-protesters. He said in this statement that he wasn't talking about, that's the quote I was looking for, he wasn't talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists, who he said should be condemned totally. Asked comment famously said, very fine people on both sides. The response received a backlash. Many claimed Trump had put neo-Nazis and counter-protesters on the same moral place. Specifically, Trump critics claimed the neo-Nazis white supremacists at the rally were very fine, good people. This claim spread like wildfire with then President Joe Biden making Trump's comments on Charlottesville cornerstone of his campaign. Senator Majority Leader said in speech, nobody breaks bread with anti-Semites like Nick Fuentes. Trump's supporters have consistently claimed that he actually condemned the neo-Nazis and white supremacists at the rally.
Very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. No, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now,
okay, that's the quote. So you got Snopes coming out basically saying this is not true, and Biden openly lied about it. So were they supposed to sit there and fact check that? Like I don't understand the point of that. So anyway, the point of that was that both of these dudes were lying through their teeth the entire time. This is the reason why Biden claims to have ran.
Really?
Yes, he says he ran after Charlottesville when Trump said there was very fine people on both sides. All he had to watch the clip in full context. Now, could you be mad that folks who don't want Confederate statues to come down, could you feel a way about that? I think that's a little goofy.
It is cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want like they lost. Like the Confederacy lost.
Yeah.
Why are their statues still up?
He's not that cool.
Right? Like heritage, whatever, right? But that's not the same as saying they're white nationalists and they're
Yes.
Nazis. That's not the same. So that whole thing was completely spun out of control, and then people discover this, and they get radicalized. They become on the right.
Yeah, I mean, those are the tactics. Sometimes the tactics are to just repeat what people generally believe.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.